this segment, we have a distinguished guest, Michigan State University Professor of Economics, Charles Ballard, and he is here on the program to talk about the latest results of the State of the State survey, a quarterly poll of more than 1,000 Michigan residents. Dr. Ballard, welcome to Business Next.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to be here.
What do you see as some of the key findings from this poll, this survey, that might be of particular interest to small business owners?
Well, I think there's one thing that really stands out, and that is that in all of the questions that we ask about consumer confidence, the numbers are up. We ask people about their current financial situation. 54% said excellent or good. That's the best we've had since 2005. We ask people about how do you think the economy is going to be a year from now? And 61% believe that the economy will be better a year from now. That's the best we've had since '04. So everybody knows that we had a very tough decade in Michigan. But now we've sort of turned it around. We've had 2 years of fairly steady job growth. Incomes are up. The economy is up. That's got to be good for small business owners because if you have a sunnier outlook among your customers, that will translate into better business.
We are certainly hearing a lot of optimism from our small business owners. We talk to them across the state, and they're adding jobs. They're seeing increases in business. Many of them I talk to say, gosh, this is the best year I've ever had. They're talking about 2011. Some are still struggling, but nevertheless, I think it reflects what you found in your survey, that there's just a general sense of optimism about how things are going.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan has added 150,000 jobs in the last couple of years. That is very substantial job growth. It's against the background, of course, of some very tough times in the previous decade, but this is the first time since the late 90s that we've had 2 years of fairly steady improvement in our economy, and that's very good news.
Anything else in the survey from an economic standpoint may be of interest to small business owners?
Well, we asked, as I said, about people's current financial situation. We asked about how they think they're going to be relative to the future. We also asked, how are you relative to a year ago? A narrow plurality, 37% said they think they're better off than they were a year ago. 36% said they're worse off than a year ago, and the rest said about the same. Now, those are not fabulous numbers, but those are, again, the best that we've seen since 2005. It's the first time in years that we've had more people saying, I'm better off than I was a year ago, than saying, I'm worse off than I was a year ago. So, again, that's another one that seems to indicate that we're headed in the right direction.
And as I recall from talking to folks who do surveys, you put a lot of emphasis on following trend lines, and the trend looks like maybe it's shifted a little bit.
Yes. Things generally bottomed out either in 2009 or in 2010. And it hasn't been a steady improvement since then. We sort of hit a flat spot back last summer and early fall, but now we're back in the improving territory, and so I'm liking the numbers that I see.
When does the next poll come out?
We've got another one going into the field just in a few weeks, and this is a very involved survey. We have about 1,000 respondents, and we don't just ask one or two questions. We have about a 20-minute interview where we ask about the things that we've talked about here, but also we have a variety of clients asking about all sorts of things. We've got MSU professors, U of M professors, Michigan school business officials, Michigan's children. Lots of groups have sponsored questions on our survey. And so it takes us some time to get it done. If we get this one into the field in the next couple of weeks, as I believe we will, it'll probably be wrapped up by late July, and that means we'll probably be having another rollout of results sometime in the late summer.
Are the survey results available online if people want to really dig into it?
Yes, they are. If you Google State of the State survey, that will probably get you there.
We've been talking to Michigan State University Professor of Economics Charles Ballard about the State of the State survey. Dr. Ballard, thanks so much for joining us today on Business Next.
Thank you, Mike. It's been a pleasure to be on the program.
You're listening to Business Next, a part of the Michigan Business Network.